Hello, my name is Hentayumi. I am a cyborg. Welcome to the GizzVerse podcast. The show dedicated to the King Wizard and the Lizard Wizard universe.
Yo, man, hot take. I honestly think that album is the best album that they've come out with.
We need more Cookie.
A multi-dimensional universe with an invisible face.
Welcome to an altered future, brother.
Once created by a band, is now sustained by its fans.
Uh-oh. I hear the road train a-coming, baby. It's a-coming.
Open the door to your mind's pause. Here are your hosts, Tommy O'Neill and Branson Trunk.
Oh, what's up, everybody? We back.
Yippee!
You already know who we are. You know what
You
this
guys,
is.
remember the guys? We're back.
New fancy intro. Hope you guys like that. Little more production to
It was
this
kinda
thing.
lit.
We've been gone, and I'm not afraid to say that. Okay, we've missed you guys. I hope you've missed us. No excuses. Just some promises on our end. We're not only going to be back, we're going to be back harder, faster, smarter, and stronger. You know what I mean?
If you've ever listened to the podcast, you know there's one steady theme of this podcast, and it's that there ain't no rules. Okay?
Zero.
So listen, we came back, you know what I mean? We came back all the way from Planet B, and we're here to drop some knowledge and some opinions and some fun.
That's right, Giz heads.
You feel me?
Happy to have you guys here with us to talk some GizzVerse concepts and nonsense and flomsense.
I think we're like in a very good mental place with King Gizzard right now, I feel like, man.
I'm pretty happy with them right now.
Right?
I did some cool experiments with them in terms of seeing them live.
Ooh, daddy.
Fishing for Fishies came out. We already did the podcast about that, though.
Of course.
We did a
Keep it out if you haven't seen it,
If you guys haven't seen that one, go to that one. Check that. I think we've
Start
done
fishing for it.
all the albums, most of them up to this point. Some like hangers in the back that we haven't gotten to quite yet.
We're gonna get to them.
No excuses, guys. No excuses. Just some harder,
we're
stronger,
here
faster
for it.
podcast. We're not here. There's no rules, but there's also no excuses on this podcast. Okay.
Absolutely.
Rule number 1, no rules. No. Rule number
B?
2, no excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Darn tootin'.
We did see King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard live recently.
At the Greek theater,
Theater.
as they say in France.
It was a fancy place to sing King Gizzard. It was the fanciest
Whoa.
that I've seen King Gizzard.
It was the most comfortable and least amount of sweat that I've perspired at a King Gizzard show.
Yeah.
Which had its pros and cons, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Had its pros and cons.
I think so too. The sound was the biggest pro.
Oh, it sounded great. It was a whole performance.
Can we map out the podcast before we start jumping to that, though?
Sure.
So, okay, we're going to talk about, we're not dummies, guys. We know that there's an album release that just came out.
Remember?
Okay, don't think we haven't infested our rat's nest.
It's infested.
There's a lot of rats.
We got the Orkin guy coming on the way. He's pissed. He doesn't know what to do.
He's going to try to kill the nest, but I don't think it's it's going to be possible.
I hope he brought a gamma knife because it ain't going to be easy.
It ain't going to be easy. He might get attacked by a superbug. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't think it's going to work this time.
So
you know what I mean?
We are going to talk about the album, of course. We're going to break it down for you guys nice and juicy like. Don't worry. I'll even put a time signature if you want to fast forward to that part. Now, up front, we're going to go ahead and talk about maybe why. Up front, we're going to go ahead and talk about we did see him at the Greek. So
how would we not talk about that?
We have to talk about that first.
It's big.
Well, sometimes we do Lot Lizards live. You know, we talk
Lot
about
Lizards live. It's true.
A separate episode. You know what I mean? All for that stuff. But we figured why not jam it together. They're doing the album release at the start of the tour, so we saw them. We live in Los Angeles.
It was the first date of the American tour.
It was the first date of the USA tour.
Had to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was great.
Us too.
We scored. Okay, and this is kind of a fun little story. You know what I mean? Us going to pick up the tickets, right?
Yeah.
We're going to pick up the tickets. We go, to avoid the $14 per ticket surcharge.
Yeah, so
just gonna throw that in the mix.
Online, if you wanted to buy the tickets, they were weirdly expensive.
Weirdly, yes.
Yeah, but
and the ones available were biggity back.
We live pretty close to the Greek Theater, so
hop, skip, and a jump.
We're balling. So we went there, and we're like, all right, let's just buy them there. And they're open one day a week.
One day,
and there's
a
just
week.
one guy that works there. He's this old dude. I forget his name now. But he
Cliff maybe.
He's probably the least appreciated employee.
Perhaps.
He's there for the full day when nothing's going on a Saturday. He's
that
just
sounds
there.
legit.
Chilling.
Chill as can be.
Yeah. Who knows how much this guy's getting paid, if at all.
If at all. Maybe
we did
not.
see him later on in the concert.
We believe we did.
He did seem very inebriated, so
No shirt.
maybe he got in for free. Who knows?
We can only pray.
We can only
pray.
But we get there.
We get there. The guy online, the only tickets left are like, the row C, row JF or whatever. You know what I mean?
And then some other ones
Back
that
there.
are like double charge spots where it's like, what? That's
wacky.
That's a weird
like
price.
Resellers and stuff. And the only reason we're not in the pit like we would, of course, like to.
And this is our hesitation with the whole thing, is because there's a limited pit area in the
Yes.
Greek theater. It's a fancy boy
Very
place.
limited.
Okay, there's a really small, maybe 20-person pit.
20 person.
It was crazy small. It was very intimate, man.
It's just like no crowd surfing
and they
no
cost
moshing.
$140 a ticket.
Well, it's because all the resellers bottom immediately.
How much did it cost though initially?
I can't imagine more than like $50.
Maybe if we caught them initially, because I remember looking when they went on sale and they were gone, baby, gone.
Dude, the day they went on sale, my alarm was set to buy them.
Gone, baby.
That happened to Tame Impala also.
Yeah.
When they played, the tickets sold out immediately.
It's crazy.
So then resale like $200. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Sweet. So this lovely gentleman, Cliff, we're gonna call him for now. He's like, we got these tickets just opened up. They're $30 or whatever, as opposed to $25 from the other ones or whatever it was. So we got some very lovely tickets. Very excited about that. While we're making this purchase, what do we hear haunting our beautiful ears?
We heard it walking up.
Right?
Like we heard.
Is that them warming up? LOL.
Yeah. Is that the band on stage right now? Is that Gizzard?
No, impossible, man.
Impossible.
It can't be.
It's probably just the roadie, jamming on some Gizzy tunes.
Just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, right, bro.
Over our dead body.
The cyborg himself came out.
Side boogieing until the sun came up.
Oh boy.
And we were real pumped. Like 13-year-olds at Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory and shit. And we're like, oh, cool. Maybe we can see them warming up. No biggie.
Oh, yeah, right.
And there's an incredibly lovely young security guard.
Yeah, it's like not so nice.
Not so nice.
I don't want to say it's a girl.
Person.
It's a girl. Like, she's just not so nice on all levels. Okay, and she was just maybe her lot in life just made her attitude that way or whatever. But holy crap, man! Holy crap!
She hit us like a ton of bricks.
Bro, we were just acting like some
Happy
schoolboys.
boys.
Like, hey, could we check out, maybe the end of their warm up a little bit, just sneak in a little bit? She's like, no. And hey, by the way, don't go up to that mountainside because, excuse me, if you guys don't know the Greek Theater, it's positioned in the middle of a beautiful park out here called Griffith Park.
Lovely.
And it's all the way at the top is an observatory where you can check out stars and stuff like that.
And the Hollywood sign.
Right. And it's pretty near the Hollywood sign, which is weird. If you've never been to Hollywood, you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Crazy venue to see the best band on the planet.
It was a crazy venue because at night it was beautiful.
The full moon.
Full moon, stars were out, the trees were surrounding us. It was It was really unique. And as they said, it was a privilege for them to play there for sure. Like they were super excited for the whole show.
Yes,
yeah,
they were very stoked.
So let's give a shout out.
Shout out to the Greek.
Shout out to the nice lady who didn't end up letting us in.
Shout out to the security guard doing her job above and beyond.
All that being said, we appreciate her because we got to see them more of on a fresh mindset. We didn't want to see them warming up, but I just thought it would be cool to just catch a glimpse. I didn't want to see their whole thing. I just wanted to be like, yo,
Cookie!
remember us?
Remember the podcast?
Eric, the podcast, us.
Remember your cousin?
Can we interview you?
Who's your cousin?
Hashtag we're trying to get an interview with King Gizzard. So if anybody listens to this that has any connection with them, I mean, awesome, but hook your fellas up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Been trying to get them on the phone for decades. Had Stu's number. We'll play some messages later in the future podcast.
Hey, buddy.
Some
your biggest fan here again.
Some of the voicemails that we've left.
Tight.
So end up going to the show.
Lovely seats. Seat row whatever close. Nice.
No, it was section A.
Section A.
Section A was row J, seat 2123.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
Completely accurate. You
Got
nailed it. You totally nailed that. Banging show.
Banging.
Start off with some Infest the Rat's Nest stuff.
Whoa. Let's give a shout out. We saw Orb first. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And then we saw Stonefield. we gotta talk about this.
We do have to
we gotta talk about this.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay. If you guys don't know our connection to Stonefield, we admire them very much as artists. They're a fantastic band, and they happen to do a residency here in Los Angeles at a bar that was like not charging anything to see them. And they were just kind of warming up to get their tour together, which I admire hard work. As any artist, it's just wise to stay on top of your craft as much as possible, even if you're not getting paid to do it. You have to do that. And for musicians that are touring live and they kind of saw where they were headed as far as touring nationally, they wanted to be on top of their stuff. So we got to see them progress over a month time frame.
Yeah.
We saw them, their first show and then their last show, and then we interviewed them after seeing them, and
incredibly nice of them.
It was really nice of them.
That.
We documented this all on one of our episodes. If you haven't heard it yet, go check that out. It's one of our older episodes.
Nicest ladies on the planet.
It's titled Stonefield. It's really not hard to find, but they opened up for King Gizzard, and I know the drummer also is dating
Mikey engaged. To all Mikey Cavs, man. Yo, talk about a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Some drum wizards.
Yeah.
Damn. Beautiful. So they come in before they play. The very nice gang of boys themselves, Orb, plays. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going in there. That's like
about this.
I was like, listen, man, we have to get there on time. Like the Greek theater is really good at letting you know the set list, not the set list, but set times when each band is playing. They're not there. They're not. There's no fat being cut. Beautiful. So I'm like, yo, we got to get there in time. I'm trying to see Orb's set. The last times we've seen Orb, they didn't play the best of sets, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yet I like their music a lot, man. Their albums are banging. I've purchased albums from them. Dig them. Come out. We get there on time. We catch, I think, their entire set, right?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. We were in line to get merch. Brian's a merch whore. And
yes.
Basically, I'm a good friend. So I stood in line and...
Smooth.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you perfectly that I'm not a huge Orb fan. So that's...
Going in, right.
Going in.
Yes.
And leaving.
And leaving. The boys did not have a great set. They didn't have a bad set by any means. They've never had a bad set. I've never seen them have a bad set. I just feel like they don't bring it heavy duty. And some of their songs can be brought heavy duty, man. Their music on their album sound great.
Second time that we've seen them.
Okay.
This is the second time that we've seen Orb
live.
Yes.
This is the third time I've seen them.
Okay. All three times, same level?
Same level. Where the crowd's like... I would say this time was the time the crowd's been the most in it. So that's a plus.
My biggest complaint with them, usually one of my critiques, the drummer was just really not a good jam band drummer. Okay, you talk about Mikey, right?
Ooh, baby.
There's something special about that guy who understands style. There's cool drummers out there that are really rare that understand the distinct difference of style. And it doesn't inhibit their ability to play drums. So, like, if you ask Mikey, hey, man, why don't you play some samba? He could do it.
Oh, yeah,
he could do it. And he could play confident, loud drums or soft background drums. That's an important skill set for a drummer. You can't just be able to pound the drums, and you have to be more skilled than just kind of like a... Because if you're a jam band drummer, you can get away with having kind of a crappy drummer at a certain level, and then they have to be good at what they're doing. That guy's not even good at what he does. And he can't... When you're not taking... And I talked to you about this. I wanted to talk to you about this in the middle of the show. I brought up some examples. So, and I don't want to... I'm not insulting anybody. I had played drums since I was a kid, so this is the
Tommy knows how to play drums very well.
I'm not...
Or else,
I wouldn't even say very well at this point because I haven't kept up the way that I used to keep up. I was a lot better when I was a kid. I can just... I recognize the struggles of a drummer. That's all this is I recognize where someone is at in their level. That's where I'm at. I'm at the place where I can at least recognize another drummer. Oh my God, that's a great drummer. versus a guy who's like, ooh, dude, you're like a 16-year-old. You don't know how to read music. No one's ever taught you to do this. You just did this yourself. And I'm not hating on that. A lot of my drumming came from that. I learned it on myself. And this is pre-YouTube, motherfucker. So nobody was showing me how to do this. It was drum instructional videos and shit. Hispanic dude showing me some dope ass off-school jazz beats. You know what I mean? That's how I learned. So I understand the struggle. I'm not shitting on anybody. I just kind of want to place that down when I'm saying that the Stonefield lead singer and drummer.
Woo, baby.
So her slower fills are less confident. Their style doesn't. She's not a jam band drummer, so this almost doesn't translate. However, she's powerful. So when she's doing a fast fill, it's real crisp and clear because she's practiced it 8 billion times.
Right.
You know what drummers don't practice 8 billion times? Slow fills. They don't practice how to do it slow first. They practice how to do it fast first. That's how you could tell that someone hasn't been trained as a drummer, because anybody who's showing you how to play drums, they do it slow first, and then you have to learn fast later, because once you start doing it fast, you get lost. You have to go back to the slow. That's like a real basic thing.
Fast is sexier. You know what I mean?
Sexier and easier. Your bones go to it. They go to it first, because what you're doing when you're first learning how to play drums is mimicking. And you're not going to hear a super slow fill all the time. And the ones that you attach yourself to are the it's the easiest thing you can get to. So the drummer for Orb, who again I'm not shitting on, it's just they need a better drummer at this point if they want to move forward. He needs to get better, or they need a better drummer, because if Mikey went in there, you would notice the difference immediately to what I'm talking about. It would be such a night and day thing. You'd be like, oh shit, they need a better drummer. Mikey is a different skill set. Watching him play all the styles that he's able to play with grace, and that in terms of like, he doesn't need to be in the front of the band. He barely wants to do the solo shit. They opened up with a dope ass solo that I've never seen them do.
Ooh, okay, boys.
He's only done the drum solo for Gamma Knife a handful of times.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? That only happens a handful of times. So I wish the best for Orb, but Howard Stern's son if they got a better got a better drummer. Stonefield. We said this though, when Stonefield came out and they played, demonstrative.
They just lit it up, and that's my critique with Orb. It's like, on the most base level is like the effort. It's just going out there and banging it out. They don't feel like they're banging it out when I see them. You know what I mean? Stonefield feels like they are.
But their songs are like that, though. Stonefield has a vibe, man. And they
totally have a vibe.
Their vibe, her singing is powerful. And even if it was just like...
She was like haunting that place.
The sound system, man. The sound system on top of that. It was so perfect, man. So perfect.
Very nice.
They did her right. They did all them right.
Totally.
They did. And if it was just like electronic music and her singing it, you would still feel that. A lot of it has to do with that.
It's true.
They're a jam band, and they need stronger... What's my favorite part about King Gizzard? You want to call them a jam band? You can. But all those dudes, oh boy, they are some talented motherfuckers that could stand on their own in any genre of music at any moment of time. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's the level you want to get at. You got to get there. And music's interesting. You can practice on your own. So there's an element of me that's like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you're a professional like that, you're selling albums like that every day, all day. Your hands are bleeding, dude. You better be drumming, daddy. And
you gotta rock.
Jazz drum or jam band drumming is not fucking heavy metal drumming, dude. It's not. It doesn't break your hands to do it. I'm not saying it's simple. It's just easier on your hands and arms.
No excuses.
Let's get to King Gizzard.
No excuses.
Yeah. This is gonna be an hour and a half long podcast. Calling it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So okay, opening up with some beauty. I think they come out hot. We love it. It's feeling, dude. Before they come out, they're flashing the INFEST the Rat's Nest logo.
Yeah,
and it's like spinning. They got the Nonagon.
Cool album cover, man.
Man, oh man.
Yeah,
so tight. They already did a good job with that. Start off with Self-Immolate. So, dude, they're already. What is it?
The first thing that they do though, they have the two drummers up on stage. They got Eric and Mikey, and it's just doom doom, and dressed up in Planet B outfits, like
prison
outfits, doom doom, which is
jamming.
I was high a little bit, and I inebriated. Sorry, some might say tripping,
wrecked.
Some might say on a different planet of
loose.
B. And seeing them, it was like, man, drummers are slaves, man. I don't know. It was just like them in prison uniforms. I was like, that is such a cool. I love that. Like they were just like. They were hitting rocks like they looked like they were on the prison line and stuff like that. It looked so badass them doing that. It was cool.
It was exciting. And again, this was an interesting perspective seeing them from like a seat. I mean, no, we weren't sitting down.
We were watching them. We were watching them like theater. Like it was like we were watching a genuine performance at a play. It was really cool. That's how I was watching it.
Right.
Again,
totally. Especially through
I was tripping.
You get it? I don't know if you. Yeah.
Well, especially that time because it was super comfortable being in the seats where like we had a designated spot. There was of course two giants in front of us that we were like moving back and forth in between, but. Man, the jokers that were at that show. Holy crap.
Some jokers, man. You had me giggling about that dude next to you, man. It was ridiculous. So. Starting off strong, Self-Immolate, Mars for the Rich, Venusian 2. So it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Setting the vibe.
Playing the set of new stuff.
And yes.
Which I like. If you see King Gizzard, dude, like, if you like the good old days, man, you might not want to see those guys too much because it would be discouraging. They're not playing the old school stuff. There's a couple old school ones, right?
Right.
You're about to say it.
And it depends how old school you like to go, or in the bench, but they'll always tickle your fancy.
Some might say the old school ones can't keep up because the next one, the Inner Cell, or is that next?
Inner Cell, yeah. Inner Cell comes next, right. And man, oh man, I had that weird moment of like, man, the boys are kind of dropping a dud right now. It was weird for me to think. It felt like kind of a dud.
I didn't know you thought that because I know you like Inner Cell.
I do. Joey's vocals were wacky at some points. Wacky.
Yep. Especially because later on in the set, he sang so well.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. He really started to get his boogie on. You know what I mean? That song hit like a ton of bricks, kind of. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right? Do you agree with this?
Ton of bricks to me sounds good. So, like, I would say this one is like a dud. I would go, it was a dud. I felt like it was a dud, and they all were looking at each other like, let's hurry this up.
It felt so...
Not sure whose decision that was, but they got a lot better songs to choose from their old school category, and it really felt out of nowhere in the set. It didn't feel like it had a natural... I don't know.
If you've heard the album at this point, Infest the Rat's Nest, after Venusian 2... Inner Cell was...
If you've seen King Gizzard live, too, like they did, the way that they navigate the albums, because each album is so different, so they think about how to connect them, and they're one of the few bands that does that, really intellectualizes that live, and this is the first time that I've seen them kind of fumble a ball a little bit.
A little bit, and also first night of the American tour, and as the set list kept coming out, I was like, damn. You said that a couple times, and I'm not... Let's not get in a fight. We're on the air. Let's not fight. We'll rumble right now, mister.
I don't want to. But I just can't agree with that statement. It's the first date of for a band that practices nonstop. I understand, like, dude, those first 3 songs were titty tight, man. Like, what, bro? Like, there's...
New stuff was crazy tight.
Okay, they were tight. It's not like they hadn't been playing. It's like someone made a bad call at the last minute is what it felt like. And... somebody, Joey, is really adamant about playing that song no matter how bad it sounds. And it feels like it was I don't know what it was. I can't pretend like I am aware of what's going on. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Joey's like, no, we need to play this song. Or not Joey, Stu. It's like, no, we need to play this song. Maybe that's what it is. I couldn't pretend to act like I do, but...
It was just a little odd. Followed with like Loyalty and Horology,
which were
that started to heat up.
Dang,
that's when
immediately it was literally a fumble, and then it was like, well, all right back in action. Let's go, Tom Brady.
The boys,
yeah,
yes. That goes into People Vultures, which was just a rip rocker like the old school times, man. We haven't seen that one in a hot minute.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see them drop Gamma Knife and drop Robot Stop for People Vultures
and pick People Vultures back up.
Yeah.
It was fun. I haven't seen it in a while. It was fun.
It was really fun.
that slips in to my damn Alter Me 3, Altered Beast 4.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and that I have such an appreciation now for the Murder of the Universe stuff.
Yeah, you like it.
I do, man. I do.
Yeah.
That was out of this set, as I'm looking through it, the highlight of this set for me was Murder of the Universe. That's like the title track, the last track on the album.
Yeah.
It felt, bro, it was electric in that place, man. They were going so hard. And it's funny for a song that has dialogue being spit over it. Stu's reaction to it, like, he was a kid, bro. He was having, like, a fucking rock star, bro. He was having so much fun, just, like, aiming his gun at us and just, like, zapping the crowd and just, he was eating it up so hard, man.
He was doing that from the beginning. And
was stoked.
When they were playing all the stuff from INFEST, he felt like I've never seen him enjoy it that much. And I had seen videos of it, of him having a blast. It was the first time that I had actually seen. Maybe it was because of the first end of the tour, but we had seen him
Greek theater.
We've seen him at the first. Yeah, it's a big deal for them. I understand. So it was a side of Stu that I had never seen, but it wasn't for every song, and it felt like intentional. That he wasn't jamming on certain songs that maybe weren't his choice to have in the set. Could be totally off basis.
Maybe.
Could be totally off basis, but from the fanboy perspective, it certainly looks like, I'm not going to say cracking. I don't want to use that phrase necessarily, but there is some disagreements on at least song choices, what to play live, because not everyone looks like they're on board. Yeah, I know you.
7 dudes.
I know you say that, but like, dude, this is the thing you talk about on this podcast. Okay,
of course.
I'm not gonna throw that away like it's not a interesting piece of information, because some of the people that are listening to this podcast will go to a show and you guys will see what I'm talking about, and if they revamp their set, could be a reason why is because they felt like they fumble it with a slower song up front. Maybe they place it in a different spot, or maybe they drop the song altogether. Who knows?
Something I like,
maybe Eric's cousin listens to this podcast and then like, tells Eric, and then somehow or another,
those guys are freaking right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Without,
that's a very big possibility.
No
I think
hate.
We all know
no
that.
hate.
It's a huge possibility.
Yeah. Hashtag King Giz.
What I will give them props for, I wanted to tell you, and I can't remember if I did or didn't actually, but no, I don't think I did. I want to tell you during Intercell, this is going to be the last time you hear the song. This is the last time they're going to play the song on this tour. And to see that they played it the next night in San Fran, I kind of give them props for that.
I absolutely give them props for that, because it dismantles my theory a little bit too. Because to me it felt like, okay, it was a Greek theater, and like somebody's whining that they need an extra song at the Greek theater.
We gotta do something wacky.
Mind you, Ambrose didn't get a song.
Yeah.
And I notoriously love seeing Ambrose get a song.
I think the next night he played "Let Me Mend the Past" or something like that.
Shut the fuck up,
like
man.
Came
like
or,
that?
or like
Come on, dude.
Or was it Bitter Boogie? Something like a jam.
That sucks,
dude.
man. And I know he's saying chorus for a couple songs, but it's like Joey got like 3 or 4 songs,
he was
man.
jamming.
Like that sucks, dude. Like I'm not saying I don't want to hear, dude.
Of course, sometimes you don't see those at all.
Okay,
so.
but drop Intercell and put an Ambrose song in there. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's that simple. And because they're at the Greek, they have a very limited set. And so all these places that they're playing, they have a limited set. They can't go on an additional 30 minutes or whatever just because they want to jam.
No.
So Ambrose gets screwed because of poor song choice. That sucks for a guy that's rocking right now.
Rocking.
The Murlocs are killing it, dude.
You need to keep that guy rocking, man.
You need to keep that guy happy. It's like you're on a superstar team, right? Like I know some of you guys are like, oh my God, hear the sports thing.
Dream team.
Calm down. Okay, like when you're on a team like the USA team and you got Michael Jordan, Shaq, and all these other great players, everybody has to get the ball at some point. Otherwise, they start getting a little unhappy, start getting a little resentful. You got to feed the beast, man.
Cook Dog also. Got to get fed a little bit too.
I don't want to see this band get dismantled for ego purpose. And
absolutely not.
You guys, if you haven't seen the Murlocs play live, you might not understand what we're talking about too much, but dude, that guy is so in his element when he's playing with the Murlocs.
Ambrose is a beast there. Yes, he's so cozy.
You want to give that guy at least a dope song at the Greek theater. What? You don't give that guy a tune? Come on, bro. What was the thought process there? I don't know.
And even Joey and San Fran played Work this time. Or I mean, they played Work this time. So
that's
it's
cool.
Like, yeah, very tight. What was your highlight from this set to kind of run through this?
Yeah, we got to get through this.
Or highlights, like a couple. What really hit?
The Boogie stuff was the one. I mean, Fishing for Fishies live.
Whoa, man.
Shit.
Even better than I knew it was gonna be good. It was better.
It was dank, man. It was dank. I wasn't disappointed.
Boogeyman Sam.
By the Infest stuff. I wasn't at all. But Planet B, when that hit, I was like, "Whoa, that's what that's supposed to sound like." And
popping.
Let me tell you guys what I did. So I did a little. Your boy Tommy did a little experiment, and you guys all hate me right now after I gave you my opinions. Again, you're telling us what you think. Please shut the fuck up.
That's the whole point, man.
I know.
Man.
I'm self-conscious. So I strategically didn't listen to any of the leaked versions of the Infest for Rats, Infest the Rat's Nest album, and I didn't read any of the
Didn't see the videos?
Sets. The only video that I saw was half of Planet B, and it's funny when I looked at my history on YouTube, it literally is half of the video, and I just turned it off because I was like, dude, I don't like this. And anytime, and I thought the same thing for Fishing for Fishies, and I had caught some glimpses, and I was like, I don't like this. Turns out Fishing for Fishies is my favorite fucking album that they've ever made, dude. That shit is goddamn dank. I keep listening to it, and now after the live stuff, I'm like, bro, that's it, man. This album is so goddamn good.
Nice.
I love their themes. I love their themed albums, and that one is so in depth in that. I told you, my favorite music from them is fighting music. The ones where I can envision Arnold Schwarzenegger kicking in the door and just beating ass. And that album is that. That album is just old school smoking cigars like... It's just... What's up, motherfuckers? Crack! I can imagine... shit getting buck at any moment during that album. And it's not in your face like... which Infest is, which is ironic.
Right,
it's
purposely, yes.
So let me get to this. Planet B was sick, right? Hell was okay.
That's okay.
Some of the other stuff was okay. I wasn't to the Venusian one or whatever.
Yeah.
I was not super impressed. Like, this stuff was lit up front. I felt like it was building a momentum. We're going somewhere. And then we dropped off with Inner Cell, and then it kind of... I feel like we should have just went into Horology and just Loyalty was lit live, man.
That was very cool,
bro. I didn't think we would ever see that live, man.
I didn't see that in the cards.
That thing was fucking awesome.
Loyalty
bro.
was a random banger, yes.
But to hear songs that I had never ever heard by King Gizzard, to hear them live, how they're meant to be here,
right?
That was amazing to me, and I had never done that.
We've been fortunate enough to see them a few times, so seeing like the ones that you haven't seen at all is very fun, regardless.
Yes, I mean, what I mean is like a brand new song is I had never heard.
Oh, man.
Half of Planet B I had never heard.
Right. Literally half.
Venusian one I had never heard. So like there was a lot of I had never heard those songs, so I wasn't jamming to them. I was absorbing them and just listening to them. And the sound was so good it wasn't overwhelming, and I was like, wow, this is a crazy good song. And I got to hear it for the first time, and it was just I just repeated myself. It was just wow, man. It was I'm glad I did myself like that. Because in today's world, you're surrounded, with all the fan pages that we're plugged in with. It's like you're surrounded and inundated with, where's it at? Where I want to get my hands on it. And I strategically avoided all that, and I feel like it totally paid off. And I'm definitely going to do that from now on, where until the album comes out, I'm not going to listen to shit. I want to listen to that album in totality. I kind of made this decision with Fishing for Fishies, but now it's really reinforced. So I will not ever give them an unfair shot by listening. And I had this conversation with another Gizhead when I was out. He was like, well, they put out those videos, because I guess the way that I was saying it, he felt like attacked, like I was, and not in a bad way. I want to have this guy on the podcast, but he felt like I think in a way that I was saying, you're a bad fan by looking at these videos, and I'm not saying that.
No, but like you said, yes, these homies are putting them out to start the hype train,
right?
So to speak.
But here's my point to that: they're putting it out, but if they didn't have to, they would not put that shit out. If they could just go, this is King Gizzard, here's our new album, buy it. they would do that.
They're one of the few bands that could genuinely get it. We're still going to buy it.
They're fans,
no problem.
but they're not getting any more fans.
Right.
So, like, they still have to promote themselves to get more fans.
Absolutely.
Bro, they got 800,000 people on Spotify.
They're not above that.
Stupid face rappers got 8 billion people on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like, it's that shit doesn't make sense. So, they're still in that promotion phase. We look at them like, oh man, this is the peak, and that they're looking at it like, all right, now arenas. How can we get to arenas? Like because they didn't sell out, and I'm not shitting on them at all, but they did not sell out the Greek. Okay, so like that,
almost.
Although it's a win, it's still next time we need to sell that out. So they're still in the promotional phase of things. They're still in the get on Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not shitting on that vibe. All I'm saying is if they didn't have to do that, they wouldn't do that. So as a fan, you already got me. I'm going to wait till the album. I'm going to wait till the album.
If they just release the album cover, that album cover, bro, the fans... We coming out there, baby.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
Just give it a shot. And I know it's hard to say now, but just give it a shot if you're out there, because it's like it was fucking gratifying. It was like
I like that. Yeah.
It was crazy not knowing and feeling like, wow, what is that song? I can't wait for the album. Is what I said immediately. I was like, I can't wait to listen to the album. So.
Right. I like to have as many surprises as possible.
Yeah.
When the album drops, for sure. Okay. Yes, I like those. Also, shout out to Beginner's Luck. That shit was amazing live.
Oh, man.
That
Super
really hit
good.
the spot.
Super good.
Really hit the spot.
It's the longest podcast we've
Soothe
ever
the
done.
soul.
Don't
I like it.
Feel free to pause this and come back to it later on, guys, if you need to.
But it's like, yo, come on.
You know what I mean?
We talking about
No
Gizzy,
press.
baby.
No
This
press.
is fun. This is what we do,
For
all right?
For sure.
And we want to do it with you guys. So
Yeah.
we, you know,
Yeah.
this is it.
Okay.
So, guys, moving on to a little...
do you want to say what you enjoyed particularly about it, or do you feel like
Murder the Universe.
you've already expressed that? Okay.
Murder the Universe, Beginner's Luck, I enjoyed a lot. Everything. I really had a fun time.
One of the few times, and not to say, believe me, especially after doing this podcast, I know a Giz lyric or two. It was one of the few times I out loud, I don't like to do this. Maybe I feel like it's weird inside, but I was also tripping. I sang out loud during the show, and I never do that. I never, ever do that. And I caught myself doing that through the majority of Beginner's Luck. And that song is so tasty, man. I love...
It was very smooth.
It's a good tale and a good lesson of, like, nothing is easy. Everything is earned, and it's through hard, long work, and it's not something that's given to you through luck. It seems like it. Some people seem like they're lucky and they get handed shit, and a lot of those times, those people drop off the face of the planet when they don't have the work ethic to go behind it. And I love that they rep that in a song as well as their actions. I love that song. It's so good.
It was very juicy.
So good.
Gumboot, shout out.
Gumboot has some of the best songs, seriously, ever
recorded. Yeah, bangers. They got some bangers.
No, from them, they really do. Like from their repertoire, it's insanely impressive how they can take lemons and just make lemonade like that. You know what I mean? Take some throwaway shit and then end up making some dope ass album with it.
I called it in this podcast once before my favorite album of that year, and it blew some minds. But it was damn right.
Yeah, it was talked about on the internet.
Damn right.
It was talked about on the internet.
Spread the word,
for
brother.
Weeks. All right, man. Let's get to it, man.
Speaking of great albums that came out this year.
Oh boy.
Infest the Rat's Nest dropped on us.
Infest it, man. Infest it.
It infested us and our souls like very few others have.
Yeah.
And I will say it here, and not first, but I'll say it again. I was critical on this album before it came out.
I was critical on just the Planet B part, and then you were telling me some stuff, so I had some influence of perception going in, and that's why I cut myself off from any knowledge of this album until it properly came out, and I absorbed it as I should have as a fan.
Absolutely. And I think after being absorbed now, I think we've absorbed it for a good amount of days.
Absorption has been had.
Yes, it's in our bodies, in our systems.
Yes.
I think we are now capable of speaking about it with good, open, happy minds.
We don't like to just come out and start talking about the podcast, or I'm sorry, start talking about the albums immediately, because it feels disingenuous when who's the race to get the first album review out, and it's like, bro, it's been out for 2 hours. How do you have
bro,
this?
I leaked it,
Exactly.
2.5 months ago, man.
You're a piece of shit is what you are. You're not even a fan. You didn't even buy that album, did you, brah? You couldn't have, because it's not on sale yet, brah. So how the fuck did you get it?
What's going on here?
You're not giving them money. You're not a fucking fan, dude. You're a douchebag. And stop doing that, you bald glass-wearing... All right, never
whoever,
mind.
whoever
that might be
yeah.
on YouTube. Whoever that might guy be. I have no
Nobody
idea.
knows.
Could
Nobody
be
knows.
Could be him. I don't know. Guy who fails miserably on every
We don't know.
King Gizzard review ever. So, this album we took our time with, and I critical before, and I got to be honest with you, a little critical now, buddy.
little critical now?
Hot take. Your
Hot
boy
take.
Tommy wasn't all the way in love with this album.
All the way turned up.
And I kind of like that I didn't like this album all the way, and
That's
that
okay. That's fine.
you didn't like it, and you came in loving it.
And
I'm gonna speak for you.
I'm coming out the other side feeling good.
You started some of the critiques you told me about this was that it was the best Metallica album that was ever going to be made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Metallica. This is like 89 Metallica or something like that.
Yeah.
Fire. Like fire Metallica shit.
Okay, when I hear that from you, you're saying people might hear that and be like, "Oh, dope, Metallica, bro. I love Metallica, bro." Brian doesn't like Metallica. So he's saying that as an insult. So like it's weird that you blew over that right there.
But if this is Metallica's best shit though, you know what I mean? I'll take it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I don't feel like that's what you were trying to impress to me, but
no,
maybe.
it actually was.
Oh, okay.
It actually was. I was like, man, this feels like Metallica's greatest hits.
Okay. All right. I believe you. I mean, I have no choice but to believe you. Like, what am I going to do?
Believe me, man.
Yeah,
Believe
yeah.
me. Let's start from the top.
Okay. This is a space odyssey. This is a crazy space odyssey.
Absolutely.
Full of science fiction, metal, and...
is it for how long is it going to be fiction,
oh, bro,
Tommy?
it's so woke,
For
man.
how long?
Oh, my God, dude. The Earth is going to fucking blow up, bro.
Think about that, brother.
Donald Trump's going to kill us all.
He knows, dude.
Oh, my God. He's got a bunker, bro. He's gonna go to fucking Mars. But all
one-way
those
ticket to Mars.
Those rich-ass motherfuckers are going to go.
With John
They're gonna hide there.
Travolta
Then we're going to be
and
screwed.
Lance
We
Bass.
got to go to Venus. And then what? We're going to die on impact.
Venus.
It's too hot there. We're going to fucking burn alive, self-emulate, and then go to hell.
And boom.
That's the album.
We'll see how that goes.
I just put that all together.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening,
Hey,
man.
thanks a lot for listening, guys.
We'll catch you the next time. And
It's a space odyssey, man.
it's a Space Odyssey.
Space odyssey, bro.
Stu's favorite.
Stu's favorite.
Stu's favorite.
Our favorite.
I'm never mad at it.
Yeah.
Never mad at it. What do you think off rip, man? After your first listen through, thoughts?
I
Like first listen through.
want to put you through the mindset because I'm a dedicated GizzVerse podcast creator,
Take me there, brother.
co-host. I was changing the oil for our family car, because I'm a goddamn man, and
I'm a man.
I'm a man, and I won't let my wife take it to some other man, and I get it done. So
It's $84.99.
yeah, whatever, and just do. They just put more oil in there on top of it. Like, hey, get out of here. It's like you get it in this brown still. Like, what the fuck? So I changed.
You need a new engine, right?
Yeah, it's like, what? So I changed our own oil, and I was down there listening to it while I do that. I listen to King Gizzard while I'm doing shit, working out,
Jamming.
or whatever. Bro, shit was giving me anxiety, brother. It was like, it was getting bucked the whole time. So I listened to it thoroughly, and I changed the oil, and I was like, I had to do a couple extra steps because the tire, it was a whole thing. Anyways.
Whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. And after the first time listening to it, I had some highlights, but overall I was like, well, it was kind of repetitious, and some of the songs because I didn't have the lyrics in front of
Welcome
me.
to King Gizzard, though, right?
Because I didn't have the lyrics in front of me, I didn't know the context of some of what they were saying, because it seemed I was confused at some points. I really was confused at some
Which is
points.
fair. Like, again,
Yeah.
this is like through your first listen like that of the whole album. Yeah, I could see that happening, but I give them props for starting off hot.
Yeah.
Which, in my humble opinion, they start off with the best song on the album, Planet B.
Yeah, you liked it?
After seeing it live, that should solidify to me that is the rocker on this beautiful little piece that they've dropped on us.
I don't think you're wrong about that. I think
Right?
live it was my favorite of their new stuff, for sure. Live.
Yeah.
Live anyways.
Right? Yeah,
And
and that translates now to me hearing it on the album.
For sure. I feel it when I'm listening to it.
In my bones.
It's a rocker, and it feels genuine, and I like the lyrics behind it on top of it. And
yeah, this is right up their alley.
Right. After reading the lyrics, stuff's a lot more clear now. Yeah. And live, I mean, it was crazy. It was singing that live was nuts with them too.
Going at it.
Oh, it was crazy. It was buck.
That song in a little venue is going to be bananas. Bro.
Yeah. Clearly it's about the earth exploding because humans have destroyed it past a certain point.
Stu's favorite
concept and direction to talk about. We're all going to hell, basically.
Oops.
Yeah.
And it's our fault.
It could be our fault.
Yes, it is.
You blame me? I don't blame me.
You gotta blame somebody.
I recycle. It's a heavy tune, and I mean, it's not very positive. As funny as that sounds, this is a dark space odyssey.
Infest the rat's nest, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Believe it or not.
Yeah.
So that's a rocker to begin with. Anything else we want to say about Planet B? I feel like it paints the picture. It paints the picture for the rest of this album.
I mean, I definitely like the drums in it. So I think this starts off the constant theme of speed drums, which is unusual for King Gizzard to maintain that through the entire album. Sometimes they have heavy songs that are slower paced. This is speed drumming through the whole thing. And
right.
it right off the bat, you already know where this album is going to take you and keep you there for the whole time. So
And they set that foundation pretty well seeing them live. And we dig that.
Yeah. And I like how both the front side, A side of the album has kind of like a different direction from the B side, which is cool. And this is setting the tone for that. And this song in particular it's not just the first song, but it's also the intro to the story concepts that are on side A and side B. Because the reason that they go to Venus is because Earth is falling apart, and the reason that the rich go to Mars is because Earth's falling apart. And that's all because of Planet B. So it's like the beginning of everything. You have to listen to the song in order to keep it
paint the picture.
To paint the picture.
So I guess you're gonna get it already, guys. There's a trouble of brewing on Earth.
Yeah, and
the rich people are starting to get in tune to that fact.
Right. Well, he also, I mean, urbanization is a big thing that he brings up in here. And there was a part where we were listening to Planet B live, and I turned to you and I was like, "Yeah, welcome to LA, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like it's. That song, it basically describes all the crap that's going on in LA right now.
Yeah, that didn't exist in the Greek theater, though.
Homeless people, yeah, for sure. That beautiful location. Homeless people, rusted cars, rusted tractors, that kind of stuff, just all over the place. Yeah, it's crazy.
Hell on earth, brother. Hell on earth.
Yeah.
So the rich are becoming in tune to the fact that Earth is becoming a hellhole.
Right.
Okay.
And
many of them live in Los Angeles.
This song actually is my favorite musical song on the album.
Musically, your favorite song?
Musically, my favorite song on the album. Okay. After kind of understanding the whole theme of the album, I do like the lyrics, but I don't like the insinuation of the lyrics. So that like rich people are evil and that they're the only ones that are going to survive because they're rich. It's like, man, right. I don't know, dude. Rich people do a lot of dope shit for poor people, a lot, and they're a lot.
To be fair,
they're oftentimes the people that are the ones doing the fucking work behind it. And
I think rich people tend to be painted with a wide evil brush.
Yeah, and like this song, it's the first time where I was like, Stu, what are you trying to get at, bro? Like, I hate to be that dude, but like, your shows aren't free, your albums aren't free, and you guys make a lot of fucking money. I understand this is a sci-fi thing, and that he might not be giving his full,
of course,
like belief system behind it or some shit like that. But I still think it was like the first time that I just disagreed with him heavily on something. I was like, that's not true. I don't think that's the goal to just run away from our problems with Mars. And in fact, a lot of the want to get to Mars is to create a space hub so you can bounce from that to somewhere else, because they want to have a place to get fuel, and if you don't have a place to stop at in the middle of space, you're fucked basically right now. So that's that goal. It's sci-fi mixed in with reality, which is what they do, but it was the first time that I was like, you're painting with a wide brush, and I agree generally that we should keep the earth clean, no question asked, but there's a lot of rich people doing some dope shit for the environment right now.
Trying to do that.
And we can't act like money is the issue. Money isn't the issue. It's evil people that are the issues. But I would say. So unfortunately,
a lot of them haven't have money, but yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a
a lot of
motherfuckers that are
dude.
dead
There's
broke as hell.
I was just gonna say that, man.
Dead broke.
You're
I know
gonna tell
some
me there ain't
real bad.
there ain't bad people that are broke, bro. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Come on. Rich people just get away with it because I can pay for lawyers. That's what the difference is, man. They can
For
get their
real.
way out of it. So like maybe they're not held as accountable as the other people are, but yeah. What did you think about this tune?
So I like it. I like it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I do see your I see where you're coming
And
from.
live,
there.
this shit was lit too, man.
It certainly was. It certainly was.
I
I
would
feel
say
like
Planet B, right next to it is Mars for the Rich.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
right
nice.
next to it live, for
Okay.
sure. Of their new stuff.
okay. Yeah, rocker. I get your lyric thing, especially coming from a band that, I mean, you said it.
It's paid.
You said it the day after the show. You know, like it was $30 to get in here. The shirt was $30. The album was like $30. You know what I mean? Like the
There's-
King Gizzard experience is about $100 an album.
There was
you know?
4,500 people in there.
Rockin'.
Multiply that by 90. Do the math, bro.
Yeah, dude.
They didn't
Rockin'.
go home with empty pockets, man. They're not going to live on Planet B. They're going to Mars. They're not going to Venus. They're going to Mars. So, like, I feel like you should have at least mentioned that in the song. You should have at least said that. Is like been genuous of like, I'm saying this from this side of the gate. And what does he do? The opposite. He says, I'm just a poor boy. What? No, you're not.
Well, yeah,
I know
but,
he's
you
saying,
know.
again, he's saying it from a story
Right,
standpoint.
right.
So I'm not coming at them with heavy criticism. I think it's an interesting perspective to throw that out there in the middle of it. So just to
It
get a
just makes
conversation
perspective.
going on.
Yes, and I appreciate the conversation starter because,
Okay.
yeah, of course, like you have to paint this picture of this dystopian, like, you know, the guy is broker than hell. He's not going to be I'm the middle class guy trying to make it whatever. Anyways, I like it. Not my favorite song on the album by any means.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a rocker. I'd like to see it again live. If I don't see it again, I'm not going to freak out.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to freak out.
What about Organ Farmer? What'd you think about that one?
Organ Farmer. I like that one a lot, actually.
Did you really?
I can really get down to it. Yeah.
Did we see that one live? I can't remember. We were tripping.
I know, right? They're kind of mixing up, to be honest with me, man. I don't think
Talking to
we
Mike,
did.
baby. Talking to Mike.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This one's just pungent. I like it. It hits. Music video's a little wacky, a little too extra wacky.
I haven't even seen it. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Call myself a gizzhead. I haven't even seen it.
Evil bastard.
I just try not to watch it from my phone. Every time I
That's the
watch
problem.
music from my phone, it like fucks my perspective up
I understand
of
that.
it. So
I very
like,
much understand that.
maybe I should watch it on my TV and just turn it up all the way or whatever and just get buck. But like, yeah.
I think all their, especially when you're feeling a little groovy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw on Fishing for Fishies right now. You know, this video was really weird, but yeah, it'll yes, check them out.
Cool. We'll
Sooner
do.
than later.
Yeah.
Wacky, yeah, I like it. It's just pungent. Not a super duper standout to me, but I like it's short and sweet.
Lyrically, not a standout, but it is like standout in terms of good. I again, guys, I didn't love this album. I wasn't, especially after Fishing for Fishies, when I was like, what? That
Which
is.
Tommy really enjoyed.
How are you capable of making that greatness right there without notifying anybody in the GizzVerse about that? You guys are incredible. And then this is Metallica's greatest album afterwards. It was really, I agree with your assessment of it. I really do. It's like, and I think this is the best Lars Ulrich has ever played drums in his entire
Crushing
life.
it.
But that's a different podcast altogether. I don't know. I just didn't get some of the. They're saying their body in terms of being an organ farmer. They're decaying. They're falling apart. There's a lot of themes of death and all that stuff, which Stu's focused on a lot, it seems.
And these guys are, I mean, I'm not going to say all of them, but many of them, I want to say like 4 of them are vegetarians.
Yeah.
So, like, throwing it back at us that we're organ farmers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here eating, you know, like, what's this, like, pounds of brie and
fatty rolls of brie.
the fatty rolls of brie. Yeah, like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like eating
Delicatessen
animals
of
and
our
shit.
passion, or our profession, yeah.
That what do you think? Like, that's like, damn, that's what we do. That's exactly what we do, I guess. So
Yeah, it's just like how, you know, things live, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
That's what it is.
Again, I think it's cool, you know, his opinion. I appreciate his opinion, but it's like, I also don't, it's weird feeling like bad about eating meat because I'm not a vegetarian. So it's like,
I'm not. But King Gizzard does a good job of sticking to their morals, I guess you can say, with that, because it is a common theme for them, for sure.
I agree with you. I agree that it is. I do like that as well, that they are consistent in their morals, and I do appreciate that. I will say it just seems so, oh man, somewhat vaguely optimistic in terms of, do you know the full scope about that? Because are you writing a science fiction novel right now, or are you painting it with some of your opinions? And if you're going at it like, oh, well, humans are bad, it's like, bro, there's so many animals that wouldn't be alive currently if humans hadn't stepped in and saved them. So many that would be well on their way out. And
yes.
I'm not talking about a fucking cage. I'm talking about in the wild. We figured out a way to reintroduce species to the wild. What the fuck? And it's against the law to kill them in our country. I'm not talking across the board, but like in the U.S., dude, you will go to jail if you kill the wrong fucking animal. Even dogs. If you fuck with dogs in this country, bro, you will go to jail.
Oh boy,
Animals are not and
you might get the chair for that one.
I'm not. Okay, we're talking about farming as the thing. That is what the images that I got when I heard Organ Farmer were. He's talking about cows and pigs and chickens in these giant, facilities stacked up on top of each other, being chopped up, and it's killing us on top of it. That's the imagery that came into my head, which I agree. Factory farming is one of the worst human normalities that we got going.
Very bizarre.
And
very bizarre.
I don't know how to explain it away. I live in Los Angeles, so if everybody all of a sudden had to hunt, we'd be fucked. And
paying $300 for that chicken.
Hate to be that guy. If everyone decided, okay, we don't need meat, we're going to go vegetarian. Bro, do you know how many animals would be displaced from their homes because we would have to reroute everyone's diet towards veggies? We decimate lands. For farming, we decimate lands. The amount of animals that die in tractors because that they're being plowed, dude,
it would be.
That's why I'm saying it feels disingenuous when that's that ain't. Humans are crazy, but we're animals too, and animals need to eat. And
animals be eaten.
Okay, so do we criticize a bear for eating its cub? Which it does. No, we don't.
We do criticize from time to time. I find that pretty gross. As bears being my favorite animal, I'm like, oh, guys.
I don't hear forums about that. The only people that I know that talk about that shit.
Next Busted Wide Open podcast, guys. Listen to the next podcast. Me about bears taking over, and we're pissed about it.
If we talk about how horrific humans are, and we're conscious of it, and it's the amount of good shit that we do to try to regulate the bad shit that's going on in this country, or not in just in this country, but in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Whoa, man. Whoa, dude. There's a lot of that going on. And I feel like the boogie shit was just a better way of talking about it, man. I felt Plastic Boogie didn't feel like that to me. I didn't feel like a piece of shit when I listened to that. And some of these songs, I was like, what are you trying to say, bro? I don't feel triggered, but it's what are you trying to say? What are you trying? I would like to hear I'm a hypocrite somewhere in this art, because I respect artists that do that more than anybody. He's not on a plane. He's not on a bus. He's not making money. Shut the fuck. What are you talking about right now, dude?
I know you all out here doing those things.
You guys are. You're a successful band that makes lots of fucking money, dude. And you guys fly all over the world to do your art, and I admire the shit out of you for it. But at least the people that are coming to your shows, they're paying that money. They're not broke people. They're not. They got arms of merch. And if they're broke, then that's the only thing that they're spending their money on,
which is a thing that exists also,
for sure, man. But broke, what's broke to you? Because broke to me is a single mom, 3 kids, can't afford dinner. That's broke.
And she's at that King GizzVerse song,
and she ain't there.
She had the show, and she got the kids.
She got the kids with her. Yeah,
so
right.
Aiden, Jeffrey, and
So
Maddie.
Chill. Maybe that's where I'm bringing too much personal shit to the table when I listen to this.
Yes, because remember, man, yes, I love your humanitarian efforts there, but that shit doesn't write a science fiction album. You know what I mean?
And that's fair too. This is creating art.
This is the band's called King. I commented somebody that the other day. It's who I put a relatively funny meme on the fan page the other day. And somebody's going in. I'm like, guys, remember, we're following. We love a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Okay, I think we should be able to take a joke or two from time to time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
And I'm not including this as a joke. Stu doesn't mean it's a joke, but
I don't think this album was a joke at all.
No, it is not a joke.
I think some of the albums have been humorous laced, but this is not.
Sure.
None of this is funny.
This is painting the organ farming. Like, yes, that's a perfect mix of to why the world could be fucked. Like, you know, you think of it as like if you're looking third party at the earth and you're like, man, they're doing this and they're doing that. It's like, damn, dude, there might need to be a super bug in that planet, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I
might need to drop a little something freaking naughty.
Did you
as they do?
Did you like Superbug?
I do like Superbug. It's just mean. It's kind of grumpy, and you know, yes, like this. I like that little bop. It has like an old school almost
kicks in,
almost like a Danzig kind of feel.
Okay,
like back of the bar. Like, ooh, damn, I just came to the wrong bar kind of feel, you know?
Yeah.
I like that.
How do you feel about the lyrics?
It's cool.
Did you understand them?
I believe I did, you know, in my King Gizzardisms. I believe I did. So the superbug, I believe he's referring to the swine flu in this.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that, what is it, H1N1? Is that what he references?
He drops a couple things in there, but he says that it's not... The superbug is the concept that we do, and he says unnecessary anti-bees likely killed humanity. He says that in the pre-chorus somewhere. Basically, that's what I think the sum up of the song is. There's that whole scientific concept of like we are, with every antibiotic that we come out with, we are slowly ruining our immune system and slowly making it impossible for us to evolve. And there's going to be one day where the bug evolves to a super bug, and it's going to fucking kill us. And we're not going to be able to save humanity from it.
It's not going to be pretty.
It's going to be a plague. And it's going to be, which is kind of nature. You know, that happens. Nature comes in when there's too many people. Something weird happens where we're like, a disease comes out and wipes out a good 30,000 people.
They found, and I wish I had I can't remember what exactly it was, but in Skid Row, they found like 2 diseases that haven't existed since like the Dark Ages.
Oh, man, I totally fucking believe that,
bro,
man.
that's wacky, though.
You're living on the street with rats. That's exactly what happened during the plague.
Bingo.
It's verbatim
with
what happened.
Feces
yeah,
and
dude. Like,
and now weirder drugs and alcohols than before.
Imagine taking like a cauldron and mixing all that shit up together. It's like, yeah, dude.
It's the same recipe, brother.
I bet, man. It's like people got AIDS and shit out there, man.
Wacky,
like, come
bro.
on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, how could it not even be worse? It's like turning into a superbug, man.
Superbug, man. It is real. And maybe the album's too real for me. Maybe I can't handle this album. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I'm criticizing this album because it's too in my face. This shit is happening in front of us. Like I said, Planet B is just L.A. Feels like L.A., dude. Like everything that they were describing is like, holy shit, man.
Here we are, brother.
Here we are.
Front row.
Yeah. H1N1 was a flop. Antimicrobial resistance is futile.
So,
Superbug is like a truck. Penicillin is a duck.
Ooh,
truck
deep.
duck. I haven't heard that rhyme since middle school.
Since freestyling in the back of the Ford Taurus.
Yeah. Since I was a freestyle artist.
Freestyle artist. H1N1 is a vaccine that they use for the swine flu.
Yeah.
So I guess like using that, like, and now it doesn't work anymore. So we're infecting people with a little bit of swine flu and we're messing them up. Yeah, like.
Do you think Stu's anti-vaccine?
Oh man, I don't know.
You think he thinks it makes kids autistic?
I'd be interested to ask him.
I would be interested to ask him too.
Right?
Is he a vaccine guy? What is he doing?
Man, he's Australian too. Like I feel like they would go raw. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, they don't care. Yeah,
they come from the land under, bro. They don't.
They're not even circumcised.
Not at all, man.
No.
They're over their dead body.
They're raw dogging it. 24.
24, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no. Anti-vaccine.
Yeah. No. He's anti-vaccine.
Yes.
Yes. He is anti-vaccine.
He is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Superbug.
Yeah.
Superbug.
He thinks the superbug's real.
That's what I got out of Superbug for sure. Yeah.
He's anti-vaccine.
Raw dog.
If anything,
raw dog.
Stu's an anti-vaccine guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of side A. So that's when side B kicks in with Venusian 1. which is
your
this kind of story
podcast listening device.
Yeah, well, it goes back to Earth. So then we have these two teams, Venusian 1 and Venusian 2, and they have to they get kicked out of Earth. Basically, they got to bounce.
You gotta get out of here.
Earth's turning to shit, so they get kicked out and got to go to Venus, and this is kind of where their journey begins, right?
Where it begins, yes. Well, this is where the journey gets a little rocky, I would say for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're not. This is where they're introduced.
Right, and it's on.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Go ahead.
I already said Planet B was my favorite. Second favorite.
This is your second favorite tune? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
I like it has kind of like a cadence. Towards like the end of the you know what I mean? I like that kind of
Okay. The punk rock thing?
Yes, that almost primitive punk rock thing. Yes,
yeah.
I've always been a sucker for that.
That's cool.
So I like that vibe. I want to see it live more.
Did you like the lyrics? Did you like the rebels going against, everybody, and then kind of like the real science fiction-y vibe going on in the background?
Yes.
Okay, because they talk about Earth becoming Venus in it. The hell on Earth type deal.
Right.
Which is pretty much how Stu views what Earth is going to become. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's making that apparent for sure. Yes, I like all that.
Said he hears that there's a holy yellow sky. Just make sure you close your eyes.
I was like, I guess we just got to go up there and see, you know?
Well, the next song is, do you know anything about that as well? Or do you have anything else to add? You said this is your second favorite song, so.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, it says it all.
You just like it. It's just dope. You just like the way it sounds.
A rocker, it feels like a good old-fashioned
fits in there and beats heavy. I like that.
Beats heavy.
The next one is a little, they always have a song on their album where I got to do like additional research, and this is that one. I don't even know if I can say the name. Perihelium or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is.
Perihelium?
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Perihelium? Helion. Not helium.
Not helium.
Yeah, it's
yes.
not an M. Helion. Okay. Yeah. So this one I had to do some research on.
Yeah.
I like
take a little extra.
I like the vibe. Again, it feels pretty similar to some stuff that they're already doing and stuff that they've done before. But it's I like it. I like the vibe that's going on. I like the dun, 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 dun. It's tight, man. I dig it. The word or the phrase perihelion, it's a point basically where the closest orbit is to another object. So sometimes, in this example, these guys have to leave Earth, Venusian 1 and 2, and they're waiting for Earth to get to the perihelion of Venus. So they have to get it to like the closest point of it, right? So that's the whole vibe of it. So it's really interesting to hear them put in, I love when science fiction is laced in a little bit of science. You have to have the science in there in order for the fiction to be believable. Otherwise, it just feels like a load of shit the whole time. And
yes,
I love that. I love Stu's ability to lace some truth into this science fiction game.
I've genuinely learned things from King Gizzard songs.
For sure, you have to.
You know what I mean?
If we do this podcast, we have to.
Yeah. Seriously, yes. Yeah. Another hot take. Least favorite song on the album.
Least favorite. Why? With the music or the lyrics? What is it?
Chorus. That
feels like
I don't like that.
It feels like a '90s. What was that band called? Man, there was a bunch of them.
There was
a bunch of those bands, like
the like triumphant, almost pirate rock
Assisted
thing.
Fall or some shit like that.
Assisted
I don't know.
Fall. Wow,
I don't know. I can't remember, but just a bunch of crappy screamo bands that did the harmony guitar parts together. They would all play the same thing, just in different. Dum, 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 bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that '80s like triumphant pirates.
I kind of like that a little bit. I like that. I like that feel from time to time.
I think for this album, it's necessary.
I've also seen Metallica live twice, and I'm not ashamed to say that I like a Metallica.
Ride the Lightning, of course.
A Metallica song or two. You know what I mean?
Respect it.
Battery. You can't hear that song live and tell me you're not going to punch a Nazi in the face.
Battery's a rocker. Battery is the only track missing on this album.
Don't talk to me, man. Don't talk to me. Don't act like you're gonna come in here and act like you're a Metallica fan after you shit on them
I'm not.
my whole life. Don't act like that to me.
Life.
Okay. So you don't like
blame
this
your
song.
brother, man. Blame your brother, right?
I don't blame my brother. My
brother
dad did that.
And his
Influence,
flunky friends,
his flunky
man.
friends.
All right.
Yeah, the fans really can fuck you up into not liking a band. That's a real thing.
It's a real thing, man.
That's
it's
a real thing.
I'm sure I did that with some people with like the Misfits and stuff.
Well, here come the next Venusians. They're on their journey next, and they're kind of like doing a whole different thing, right?
Take off. Yes, they are doing all different things.
This ship is this rock's a little different.
A little bit.
How'd you feel about this tune?
I like it. It has
Well, you thought the first one was the second best. Where do you place this one at? Is this like third best?
middle of the road. You know, like one I can't put a number on. It's very it's like, yo, this is a sequel to Road Train. You know, I like Road Train a lot, so I'm excited about the sequel.
Glad you said it. This album is very Road Training. It feels like a lot of people have been comparing it to Nonagon and trying to put it in a box. I don't think you can put Baby in a corner, though. I don't think you can put Baby in a corner.
No, it's outside the box and it's out the corner.
Everything's in the GizzVerse. It's like saying that like Iron Man is or Spider-Man 1 is Iron Man 1, and like it's all in the MCU, dude. What are you talking? It's all one, brother. It's all one.
We're all one.
We're
baby.
all one, dude.
We just for entertainment purposes, we have to do this, of course.
No. I understand that aspect of it, but it does feel Road Training. The album does. The whole album feels a little End of Nonagon, what's next. This feels more what's next than Murder of the Universe feels what's next, in my opinion. Because Murder of the Universe, it's its own thing. That cyborg shit is like, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's a robot. Entangle me.
He's freaky.
Cool. So these guys take off. Venusian 2, the story continues. Basically detailing where the rebels arrive on Venus and then begin their new fiery life on their very uncomfortable planet that they are getting ready to burn alive.
Fingers getting warm and eyes are turning gold.
Yeah, this is them coming in on impact because there's something this self-emulation that's coming up next. I think this is like them coming into sunlight and also the atmosphere, and they shit's just starting to catch on fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they're like starting to freak out. This guy sees the ground and he's like, "Oh shit, here it goes, man! Oh fuck, bro!
Who told us to do this?
Who told us to do this?" And then there's only 2 more songs left, so
heavy, right?
It is pretty heavy.
It's been a hell of a ride, though.
It is.
I
do like that they have a journey and like there's a destination and there's a goal. There's a story to it. I
would say the props to this album. There isn't fat.
Not a lot of fat.
There isn't fat.
No. There's 9 songs. Favorite number 9. 9 songs.
Favorite number, man.
9 songs. Yeah.
9
I like that they had no fat on this record.
No. They're giving us raw.
Yeah.
Heavy duty.
They are.
Yeah.
I like that Stu understands the importance of storytelling, and I think him being a Christian when he was a kid is in some ways helps that, where he understands mythology and shit like that. So it is interesting.
And also has a soft side for some of the negatives that, some of our thought process could provide.
Sure, yeah.
Murder of the Universe, you get it.
The first lyric, I have gone insano.
Shout out Bobby Boucher and the Giant? That was his name, right?
He wasn't Andre the Giant.
Not Andre the Giant. But
I would say he's more notable as the Big Show.
The Big Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have gone insano.
I lust for Volcano.
Ooh.
Does that sound good?
A little bit.
It sounds kind of spooky, right?
Yeah. I kind of... This is where I'm like, not done with the album, but I'm just like, all right. At this point, I'm a little like, where's the one that I am going to really like? Where's the one that I'm like, man, that is, holy shit, how did they do that? I'm sitting here kind of nervous. I'm like, it's not Hell. Because at this point, I had heard Hell live. So I'm like, no way I'm going to listen to Hell right now and be like, oh, blown the fuck away. No, it didn't happen. So like this is where I started to get disappointed. And I was like, whoa, do I like this album that much?
Ooh, okay. That's a good take.
This is where that started to happen. It was like, all right, man, heavy soloing and crazy. This sounds like shit my brother listens to, where it's like, all right, man, like that's.
We get it.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's similar. It's not taking jumps, you know? And I think like Psy Boogie, Plastic Boogie, it's all a boogie. Those are massively different tunes, bro. Massively different tunes. And
quite.
You could play them live back to back and not know that they were on the same album.
No.
All this stuff sounds like it is
on.
packaged on this album intentionally. And I'm not hating on it. I'm just giving where I'm viewing it at this point in the album.
That's fair, because I do feel a sense of like, I don't feel complete after it necessarily.
Yeah.
You know? And I just mentioned it doesn't have fad. No, I still think that, but I don't know. I don't feel like this to me, it could have ended with Self-Emulate. I like this track. This one's good. I like the very end, the voice, auto cremate, Self-Emulate, and I think. Did you research like self-emulation at all? Like, you familiar with that?
I mean, not any more than the concept that they were flying into the atmosphere and they're burning alive. So
like cultures will do that. That's like the ultimate sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like, spiritually and stuff. So that's cool. I get it. I get the.
Are you saying that he's saying we should all kill ourselves in fire?
I don't know about that.
Hot take.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it either.
I'm not about that, Stu.
Yeah.
I hate the heat, bro. I'm trying to stay away from that as much as possible.
Burning yourself alive. That is a sin, though. That is a sin.
It is.
You know?
But it's the ultimate.
Ultimate?
The ultimate. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. According to me. So, but some people say that sin will land you in hell. Like the last track of the album.
That's exactly, I think, what they're trying to say.
Smooth transition, huh?
Did you think it was?
Smooth as eggs, baby.
I liked your I wasn't ready for it, so.
That's okay. I thought it was pretty nice. So yeah, I thought this one kind of, it's like raw and crazy and all that stuff, but it doesn't tickle my fancy very much. I think You've Expressed It doesn't do that to you either, right?
I feel like it's the same song we just listened to.
Kind of, right?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that. This feels weird. This is the first time you've listened to if you've listened to any of our other podcast episodes about album reviews. A lot of it is, oh, bro, this song is so fucking good, man. Oh, dude, I love this song.
This was better than the one I said was my favorite, man.
So if this is your first time listening to it, this is an unusual podcast where I got I'm like, oh, okay, boys. But I'm cool with that because the last album review was just me going, oh, my God, this is the greatest thing to have ever happened to King Gizzard World. And we were fresh off of meeting them. It was such a big thing. And I didn't have that feel. Although live, all the songs are way better live. And I appreciated them more live than I did on the listen from the album.
If you were to see them tomorrow and they play any of these songs, it's gonna be jamming.
If I heard this whole album live, I would be like, all right, man, that was lit. That whole album is sick. I don't have any complaints. For sure, man, for sure. It's just tearing it apart for multiple reasons. To be honest with people who listen to this podcast, for one, and to also give my perspective out there, because I think maybe, possibly, other people feel this way. And if that's the case, comment, let us know. Let us know what you think and feel about it, because the opposite very
much exists as well.
Oh, so yeah, a lot of people are digging this album. And if you're doing that, tell me how much you agree with Brian and how dumb I am. Like, let us know either way, you know? I think it was
hyped. This album was hyped, man.
Very hyped. The album cover, dude, I had to work my ass off to not see that album cover. It was popping up everywhere, and I was like, oh my God. I was like running away from it. Yeah. Trying not to see it first. Yeah. It's crazy.
So Hell's fun. I'm sure a lot of people are very excited about it. It's cool.
It's exactly what it says it is.
Hell, brother.
That's what he's talking about.
God is pretty hot down here under surface. Antichrist has tempted me with a purpose.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's
deep,
not,
brother.
It wasn't. I was kind of disappointed with the lack of description. So when you title a song Hell, I do feel like you got a Dante's Inferno that bitch. This song should have been like 9 minutes long. This song should have had some meat to it. And like, this song didn't feel like hell to me. It didn't feel like I was going to hell.
Crumbly Castle's 16 minutes or something like that, right? Like,
and it details a pretty significant storyline. So when we're talking about a theme that he's touched on so much as far as religion goes, it's like hell didn't even seem that bad.
It's just like, well, dude,
It's like, all right.
Earth was shit, you know?
Yeah, it's I mean, Venus sucks.
You ain't getting to Mars.
Where
bro.
else you going, man? So it's like, I don't know. It didn't seem that bad. And I want to be afraid of it. There's Great Chain of Being. God is scarier than Satan. So it's like, and maybe that's what he's trying to impress or whatever, but
that could be a thing.
It could be a thing, but I didn't feel intimidated about hell. Lyrically, describe it. Just go further. Go further. What's going on here?
Our good buddy Joe, shout out Joe, love you, buddy. He says that he feels like Great Chain of Being could have easily snuck into this album. Do you feel that way?
I feel like if Great Chain of Being was on this album, it would have been the best song on the album. Hands down.
Interesting.
Hands down. Great Chain of Being is a great song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that take. Okay.
For sure.
I could do with or without it.
Which is interesting.
I could do with or without it.
Is it because you don't like that song?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. Anyways, yeah, we talked about it, but it's okay. So in that conclusion, I think what's the album like? 34 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, it's just pretty short, in and out, fast,
nice, solid release from Gizzy.
Absolutely,
Very solid.
They'll make good sales off of it for sure.
No question.
A lot
about
of people will get it.
Have you seen the like their official like records and stuff that they've released?
Not the actual record, just the cover.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Cool.
There's one that's like I think it's like the Hell edition
things. Or
yeah,
whatever.
the way it's like all like orangey and red. It's just like fire.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I got the ATO one that's like half red, half black.
Huh.
Like it's down the middle. Beautiful also.
Cool.
Really nice. I like it. I like it. I like what they're doing. Where do you put it on your rankings? Just loosely,
I mean, I can't do all the albums as a rating system because that's not fair to them because they didn't start hitting their peak where they're delivering what they're doing now. Maybe Mind Fuzz, arguably before that, but Mind Fuzz is where I kind of put it mentally. So from Mind Fuzz on, bro, easily their worst album.
From Mind Fuzz on
till now, easily their worst album that they've put out. Sketches, way better, and that's
I'll take Sketches all day.
Okay, but that's the one that I'm putting next. And I'm not saying that negatively about Sketches. I'm saying Sketches is a short album with songs that are fucking 30 seconds long, and they don't give you a whole bunch. It's a concept album. It's like a fucking art piece.
They did with some other cat.
Yeah, it's
Alex,
not really their album like that. So I would put that in there. And then, Polygon Wannaland. I mean, think about all the albums that they released. Gumboot Soup being the most, quote, lackluster of them, and it's your favorite album that they released of those five.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, this didn't feel like that. This didn't feel like any of those albums. This didn't feel special. Right. It didn't feel... I didn't feel a part of it. It was weird. It's a weird feeling.
I understand that. And I can't really disagree with that. I don't know where I would put it in that. I like where you said that foundation of like the Mind Fuzz stuff, because I can't say it's better than any of those. I said it earlier. This album gave me more of an appreciation for Murder of the Universe than I already had. And like, yes, I listened to that the other day. I was like, oh, bro.
Literally go down the list in your head from Mind Fuzz on and tell me which album is worse than this one.
Not Oddmans.
I would love to hear your argument, especially if you're listening to this podcast. I would love to hear what your opinion on that is, because I'm just open for it. I'm open to hear what your opinion is, for sure.
Right, and for some people, if this is super up your alley, like your genre alley, by all means, you probably love this shit.
Yeah,
that's great. I support that 100%.
Please don't be heated by what we're saying too hard,
because it's cool, man. I'm gonna listen to this album a million more times,
and I'm gonna not listen to it for a little bit, and then listen to it and be like, damn, man, you know what? I was probably wrong here when I said this and wrong there when I said this. And I'm not trying to get clickbaits or any crap like that.
Sure, well,
like,
yeah, whatever. This is just two guys talking
Gizzy.
Talking Gizzy.
Yeah.
I will say, and this is I don't like to compare bands as like, people's efforts and stuff like that. Listening to the OC's album that came out the same day trumps this by miles. Man.
Whoa.
By miles. They got some songs. They got this one song on there called Henchlock. That's 16 minutes. And time, that doesn't mean anything. Whatever. Like, oh, great, you got a long song. Is it good? No, I think it's longer than that. Anyways, it is amazing. I can't not listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've listened to it repeatedly over the days.
Huh.
It's awesome. It's such an effort. And there was no hype train behind that album, dude. Like, they dropped that single, and then the rest of the album. You know, there was nothing, no heavy stuff. King Gizzard, and we demand this as fans, when they drop something now, it's hype, bro. It's a big deal. You know, it's good, but it also kind of paints a target on you.
See, this is why it's interesting, because like I specifically avoided the hype, and I still came out to this conclusion.
Right.
I was genuinely absorbing this album, and I saw the songs the best way that they could be seen, and I listened to them on the album, and it's not that I mean, it's a great album. I'm putting it where I put it at.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy, right?
No, I don't think it is. I'm bored. I'm on board with that.
I'd say it's crazy as a fan. So as big of a fan as I am, and as much as I enjoyed the show, I had a fucking blast at the show.
It was a blast. It was
it's
so
crazy,
much fun.
And I just I don't want to say anything negative about them ever, but I do want to be honest to the podcast. So
sure,
yeah,
and to yourself, of course.
No, fuck myself.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay,
fuck
fine,
me.
fine.
Yeah.
It is interesting thinking that like the band's getting older. They're gonna make more albums, hopefully a bunch more.
Yeah,
it's interesting to know, and my critique on them sometimes is my biggest love for them is how diverse they can be. Of course, eventually they're gonna tackle a genre I'm not that crazy about. Like,
yeah.
If they're true to who they are and what they've done, that's destined. You know what I mean?
Right.
They might drop the biggest flop hip hop album of all time. I'd support it all day.
I was thinking that too when we were watching. I was like, when are they going to start rapping? Holy shit!
You're gonna throw something in the mix and be like, whoa, this is crazy, right?
This is weird.
And when is a young generation really gonna keep up with what they're doing, and we're gonna feel like old and be like, is this gonna happen? Like, damn, I don't know if I can keep up anymore, bro.
I don't know.
I don't know. Or is it gonna still appeal to us? So I know some of the people listening to this podcast right now are probably like 16.
Hopefully.
You know? Hopefully, yes. I'm praying that's the case.
Yeah.
So knowing, I don't know. It's interesting to see how we will progress with this band, knowing that we're on their side 100%. Obviously.
For sure, man.
You know?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up there. I like it. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. This is the GizzVerse podcast. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. If you guys want to come on the podcast, let us know that too. We're happy to have you in and interview you and talk about your love for Giz. We are going to start putting out more of these bad boys.
We got to.
Like, subscribe, please. And if you're listening this far in, we do another podcast called the Busted Wide Open Podcast. Check that bad boy out. It's just us talking about other shit. All over the place. We bring up other subjects to each other and just kind of bust it open on the podcast.
And we will throw a Gizzy reference from time to time.
Oh, boy. If you listen to both, you're going to enjoy the inside jokes. Let me tell you what. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot for listening. Peace.
Yeah, buddies.